All right, everyone, here on Cal's Corner for Radio Connection Broadcasting School. I am alongside San Diego Gulls owner and GM Bruce Miller. And Bruce, Western States Hockey League, sort of a prospect scout league for up-and-coming players from not just San Diego County and the U.S., but all over the world. But above all, the thing that caught my eye, the team was named the San Diego Surf when this team started back in 2001. But, sir, what was the reason behind changing the franchise name from the Surf to the most successful hockey team in the West Coast Hockey League, the San Diego Gulls?
Well, obviously, the Gulls have had a long history here in San Diego. They've been around in some form or shape since the 1940s, and they disbanded and went defunct in 2005. We started up operation in 2008, and we just thought we'd like to bring the name back. It's a little recognizable. It's a hockey name in San Diego for the people that enjoy hockey, and we thought it would be a great way to go, and people would recognize the name and hopefully gravitate back. So that was the reasoning.
Good reasoning. Can you kind of tell us more about what the Western States Hockey League is and the purpose of it? Because a lot of people have come to me in the community and said, you work for the Gulls, but what's the whole purpose of this league they're playing in?
Right. Well, hockey's a little different animal than what people are used to with baseball, basketball, football. Hockey is minor league hockey other than professional. There's a way to get to the next level and professional, and that's through junior A hockey, and there's different tiers of junior A hockey. So our players are basically 17 to 20. Junior A hockey is huge in Canada. Sidney Crosby went from junior A hockey to the National Hockey League. Wayne Gretzky went from junior A hockey to his career. So junior A hockey is where the hockey players build. Now there's three tiers. There's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. We're tier 3. So basically our players, there's scouts in the building every night. Our players are trying to get to the next tier, hopefully get Division I college scholarships. If not, go to the next tier of junior A, then to the next tier of junior A, and hopefully get picked up at the professional level. So we're a feeding program for both pro and college, and there's scouts in the building, like I say, every night. And these kids are working hard. They're trying to get to the next level of junior A hockey. Like, for instance, there's the junior A, the World Junior Tournament every year at Christmas time. It's a international tournament. It's the best 20-year-olds. So we try to put it's like single A baseball, like I like to equate it to. There's triple A baseball, one step from the pros, and there's single A baseball, which is a few steps from the pros. That's where we're at.
Bruce, can you kind of talk about in recent seasons sort of how the community, not just in Escondido, but the entire San Diego County has sort of come to embrace this franchise with such a legendary name like the San Diego Gulls? Again, 5 Taylor Cups, many great players, a lot of great memories at the sports arena, but now up here in Escondido on a more reduced role. But sort of how has the hockey community up here in northern San Diego, California, sort of seemed to embrace this franchise?
Well, when anybody comes to a game, obviously it's we don't make we're not no illusions of being anything like it was in the sports arena. We have an intimate arena here. It only sits maybe 400 people, but you're right on top of the play, and it's old school, and we dress it up as nice as we can to make it as minor league as we can. But again, it's not the old San Diego Gulls, but it's good hockey. The kids work hard, and the people that come embrace us. They love it. They think it's great. They think from the beer garden to the mascot to the spotlights before the games to the music between whistles. I mean, we dress it up and do a nice job here. People appreciate how hard we work to make it special for the players and the fans. And the community, when they come, they've embraced it. We can't, it's sort of a fine line, a tightrope that we walk. We can't go out and market because we only hold, 400 to 500 people. And the Gulls were a very popular professional team in this city. And if we were to market, all of a sudden 12 or 1,300 people show up, which isn't a lot of people. We're not doing anybody any favors that way either, turning people away. So, we've got this niche little, 400 to 600 fans that come and support us, routinely, and they love it and we love them.
Bruce, for yourself, owner GM is enough, but one season, I believe back in 2010, you were owner, GM, and head coach. How tough was that to run 3 jobs at once before handing off the passing to coaches Craig Carlisle and Ross Carmichael?
It was difficult. Actually, the first 2 seasons I was the head coach, 08-09 and 09-10. And I'll tell you what, it's one of the hardest things I ever did because, as you know, Cal, I'm very active in the game operations, and I would have to turn that over to people, and I'm a bit of a micromanager, and so I'd be behind the bench, and I couldn't, really focus on the game ops at that point because obviously I had to run my club. But it all worked well. It was, I was a little younger back then, and about 40 pounds lighter, so it was a lot of fun. But I'm glad that Craig and Ross do such a great job. I'm glad that they came along to take that burden off me, so I can just concentrate on game ops and putting a good product on the ice and putting a good product for the fans to enjoy.
Been around a long time, since 01 to right now with the Gulls, but what of all the alumni, the previous players that have come through this system, played in this arena, traveled the road, what have they said about their experiences of being in San Diego? Not just the beaches, the weather, the food, and the climate, but more so about making memories and making long-lasting friendships with not just players and their teammates, but sometimes families as well.
Sure, we have players from all over the world. I mean, we've had players from Russia, Czechoslovakia, Sweden, Finland, obviously Canada, Denmark. We've had players from everywhere. And, there's something to be said, and obviously players from the Northeast and the Midwest. And, there's something to be said for wearing your flip-flops to the ice rink. And a lot of these kids have never done that before, and they come here and it's a real eye-opener. And obviously the weather is something that they'll never forget. But their experiences in San Diego, we have billet families, people from the local community that take these players in, house them for the year, and they establish relationships that are tremendous, and they go and they reach far longer than just their season or two with the Gulls. These people maintain the relationships with these players, and lots of times they vacation together and invite them to family outings and so on and so forth, even long after they've left the Gulls. So the San Diego community and the families that have been involved in our billet program have absolutely loved it. The players have loved their stay here in San Diego, and it's a pretty easy place to come and play. We have a great city here, and obviously the weather speaks for itself, and everybody certainly enjoys that.
How many of the previous players that have come through this team system have gone on to play college internationally, or have any ever made it up to the NHL before?
We haven't had an NHL player yet, but our captain from 2 years ago, Weston Seidel, played for the Ontario Reign in the East Coast League. We've had some guys play in the Southern Professional League. We had 2 kids play in the top. We've had 2 Swedish kids play in the top Swedish Professional League. We've had 1 kid in the second Russian League. So we've had a lot of great success with players moving on and playing professionally in foreign countries at high levels. Obviously we've had our share of players move on to play, college hockey and have great careers at the collegiate level. But we haven't had anybody. We haven't broken through with an NHL player yet, but I think that's hopefully going to come.
What are you hoping for, Bruce, when people come out to these games? Are you looking for them? Again, you're not here trying to rekindle the magic of the old Gulls back from Willie O'Ree's days or Martin St. Amour, Jamie Black. But when people come out to these games, though, what do you hope for them that wants to make them come back again and again?
Well, I hope that they come and they get their hockey fix. I mean, hockey's a great community. It's a small community, and people that like hockey just love it at any level and love to watch it. What we try to hope, people get out of it, it's an old school atmosphere. I mean, concessions are $1. Things we do between periods are only $1. We have, numerous ways to win prizes, cash. Our beer garden, beers are only $5. I mean, 16-ounce microbrews are $5. Our merchandise is so inexpensive. I mean, everything is old school, it's affordable, and like I said, it's fun and it's intimate, and you're right on top of the place. So if you're a hockey fan, I mean, it's like sitting on the glass, at a pro stadium everywhere in this building. You are right on top of the play, and if you like hockey, you'll have a good time, and it won't break the bank. And that's what we're looking for: people to come have a good time. I had a family of 4 come to me and say, the father said, you know what, we love coming to the games, we love bringing our kids. Our kids are 7 and 9 years old. And he goes, it's so great because my wife and I, we love coming to the games, and the 7 and 9-year-old love it too. You know, you've got a kids zone. You know, we make it as fan friendly as we can. He goes, if I go to a movie for my 7 and 9-year-old, chances are me and my wife aren't enjoying that movie. It's you know, it's a great movie for the kids. We're sitting there, we take it. But this is something that we can bring the whole family, can enjoy it. My wife enjoys it, I enjoy it, and the 7 and 9-year-old enjoy it. So it's something we can do together, and it's less expensive than a movie for 4. So that made me feel good when he told me that story. So that's what we're looking for, you know, things like that.
Bruce, last question. We just saw perhaps the greatest hockey game in California history. Ducks-Kings outdoor at Dodger Stadium, sold-out crowd in front of a huge, you know, over 5 million television audience at home, myself included, I'm sure yourself included. But Bruce, hockey in California to a lot of people sounds like a joke because of the weather, you know, the climate, yada, yada, yada. But in your mind, how much has the sport of hockey really grown in California, considering the Ducks winning in 2007 and the LA Kings winning in 2012? Has hockey permanently, in your mind, sir, been put on the map in the Golden State of California?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and the success at the Stanley Cup level for those teams is extraordinary, and that certainly, obviously, helps more than anybody can understand. But you know what? The youth hockey in California. I'm a New Yorker, and New York youth hockey, you know, is great. It's up there with Minnesota and Michigan and Massachusetts, but I'll tell you what, you know, at the highest levels of youth hockey, which is AAA youth hockey, California competes and wins national championships as much as, you know, anybody these days. So it's, you know, the success at the pro level, starting with Gretzky in the early 90s, coming here and making hockey big, and then with the Ducks' success and then the Kings' success, it just is growing leaps and bounds, and the kids are following, and hockey's here to stay. And there's plenty of, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, there's a kid that came through San Diego, C.J. Ruedel, and I saw him play for the Buffalo Sabres last night. And he was a 16-year-old playing in San Diego, and then obviously he went on and did some other things at, you know, at high levels of Tier 1 junior hockey, and then went on to Division I college career at UMass Lowell. But he's a San Diego kid. He was in the Sabres lineup last night. So it's happening. Hockey's great, and it's here to stay.
Bruce Miller, the owner and general manager of the Gulls, sir, thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Cal. I
We'll see you
appreciate
around.
everything, and thanks for everything.
For Radio Connection and Mountain Country 107.9 FM, I'm Callan McClurg. See you guys later.